What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So we have some Avengers reworks to talk about. If you guys are wondering what's going on with the Envoy videos today, basically someone decided to go leak all the stuff with the kits and go give it to a content creator who should not be named, but you probably know who I'm talking about. And yeah, it's just kind of thrown everything in chaos. Embargo dates moved up, so people are just trying to make the videos as they can. So yeah, it's been a little crazy. You may notice that I've got a step stool back here because I'm working on installing some stuff. It's crazy. It has been a little nuts. So apologies. I was hoping to do like a big fancy video for this because I was very excited for this rework. Not gonna happen because we're just having to do things off the cuff. So apologies for that. We're just kind of having to improvise here. But you guys may remember last week I put out a video saying that I would love to see an Avengers rework, and I guess someone at Scopely saw that and they're like, you know, let's make our Avengers rework. I'm kidding, that didn't actually happen. This was already planned from what I can tell, but a couple days after dropping that video, we then got our upcoming Envoy embargoed information, and lo and behold, there is an Avengers rework thrown in there. Now, before we go into the Avengers, there are some other things to note here real quick. There were some touch-ups to stats for certain characters. Punisher has gotten 10% damage boost, which is huge for him. There's a big team with defenders able to counter your Marauders with Emma Frost in there. I think you throw in Ultron instead of Luke Cage, and you can beat Emma and Marauders with that team. So having that stat boost with the damage boost on Punisher, that's a big deal in itself. A bonus focus of about 5% to Quake, and then Yondu's focus has also been increased by 5%. It's a nice little touch up to some older characters, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Avengers. Now, we're just going to run through the reworks here, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts on this Avengers team and how I think this may actually be a really good team, especially for newer players. We'll talk about that a little bit. But let's start here with Captain America. His basic attack, it used to have only a 30% chance to chain to two adjacent targets. They have changed that to a guarantee of chaining, but they've gone to 1 or 2 targets. So you're not guaranteed to get 2, but you are guaranteed to chain at least something. So it's a decent buff, same amount of damage, and he gains defense up. Nice little buff there to his basic. But his ultimate is where he really shines. Actually, his passive too. But his ultimate got a huge buff. This is a shield throw. It goes from a 5/5 energy cost to a 3/3. So you're going to use it more often. It chains 2 to 3 targets instead of 1 to 2. And if this character has 1 or more Wave 1 Avenger allies, gains 60% bonus speed bar. Dodge breaks this chain. That's a big deal. He can use his ultimate right away. He's going to use it on auto anyways, on defense or anything. He'll use his shield throw first. He'll dispel possible buffs on the enemy team, and then he gains 60% speed bar, and then he can taunt again very quickly. But then his passive, oh man, his passive. This was one of the things I said about Captain America. I wanted to see a big buff to his passive, and we got a massive buff here. Originally, he got 25% block chance, plus 10% block amount, plus 10% max health, and plus 5% block chance per Avenger ally. Not that impressive overall. What we got here now, he has plus 25 block chance like before, plus 20% block amount, so that block amount got doubled, and then plus 20% block chance per Avenger ally. So if you have 4 Avengers with him, that's 80% block chance, plus 25 on him already. He's pretty much guaranteed to block as long as the attack is not blockable. That's a big deal because blocks are good for basically resisting debuffs, getting that damage reduction. It's like a deflect pretty much. So you have a really good chance of avoiding negative effects on Captain America because he's blocking everything, which is nuts. On the death of a Wave 1 Avenger, heal all allies for 10% of his character's max health. He gains 20% max health along with all Wave 1 Avenger allies. And then in war, so not offense or defense, just war in general, he gains 20% max health, and Wave 1 Avenger allies also gain 20% max health. So 40% max health for him and all Wave 1 Avenger allies in war. That's a big deal. Looks like they're trying to give a little bit of a war taste here to the Avengers. So overall, this looks like a pretty significant buff to him. His ultimate got a nice buff. His basic got a nice buff as well. And that passive, mwah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. This is a great boost. Now, let's move on to Black Widow. She got a nice little boost too, but also her stats were increased. 10% bonus health, 5% more damage, 18% more focus, and 5% bonus resistance. That's a lot of focus. We're going to see why here in a moment. whenever she assists or counterattacks, she now clears a positive effect on her target with those assists or counters. So that bonus focus is already showing here great with that. She's guaranteed, she basically not guaranteed, but she has a much better chance of clearing a positive effect whenever she assists or counters. Big deal, right? Now let's talk about her ultimate, her Widow's Bite ability. This is the one that stuns and chains the targets and can give bleed on those targets. If Hawkeye is an ally, this attack is now always guaranteed to chain to 3 targets. So most of the same attacks on this ability. The only thing here is that Hawkeye guarantees they will chain to 3 targets. So it goes from 60% to 100%. Big deal on that. Counterattack still breaks this chain. So if you still have counter, you'll still be able to break this. But still, that guarantee with Hawkeye is a great thing. And if you guys are looking for a buff on Hawkeye, just wait, because you're going to see something fantastic here in a second. Her passive used to give her plus 15% speed, and that's after someone has taken an action, and when in stealth, gain offense up. Not that impressive. Now, when she gains stealth, she gets offense up and applies death proof to an allied Hawkeye. This is great because she's always using her special automatically to give speed up to your team, and she's going to stealth. Now Hawkeye is going to get death proof right out of the gate. There's not many characters that are faster than Black Widow. I believe Yo-Yo is the only one who moves faster than Black Widow. So she's gonna go before pretty much anybody else with this. Get that death proof on Hawkeye. Big deal. Of course, also empower Thanos, but yeah, I mean, are you gonna use empower Thanos on Avengers? I don't really think so. Now, gain assist now on an allied Hawkeye's turn. We're gonna go ahead and tell you right now, her and Hawkeye have the same kind of synergy that Proxima and Corvus have, except with just their basic attacks. Any attacks that Hawkeye or Black Widow do, they're going to get an assist now from the other character. So you're going to see a lot of assists between Hawkeye and Black Widow, which is great. Speaking of Hawkeye, oh man, Hawkeye was the one I said that needed like the biggest buff. He needed a huge buff, and boy did they deliver. 15% bonus health, 25% bonus focus. Speed has increased to 131 on Hawkeye. If you guys are wondering how fast that is, if you take a look at your speed table here right now, that puts him at third, behind Gamora, behind Yo-Yo and Black Widow. Not a lot of faster characters at that point. So Hawkeye is gonna be fast. That is a big deal. He's gonna move very fast. It's great. Plus, you also have the speed up from Black Widow. Let's not forget about speed up with Black Widow and her special. This is huge. I mean, let's be real here. That speed up is big. Plus the bonus speed here on Hawkeye. Gonna move more often. Now, he didn't get any stat boost with damage, but his attacks will do more damage now. His basic attack, it used to gain 15% crit chance and deal 20% piercing with his attack. It now gains 20% crit chance and 30% crit damage along with the 20% piercing. Big deal already. So also remember, he can assist with this attack too because of Black Widow. So now you have a higher crit chance, more crit damage. His basic is going to do a lot more damage already. His special, which was the arrow that would dispel and reduce speed bar, it used to only deal damage to the primary target and dispel on the primary and adjacent. And I've always felt that was kind of weird. There wasn't any damage on the adjacent characters. They've now fixed that. Now his special will deal damage to adjacent targets. There's only really change they've done here, but it can remove all positive effects from all enemies who are hit by this. So that's pretty significant. Plus that damage, 150% damage, not a lot, but giving that a little more damage boost to him, always welcome. That's been one of his big problems with Black Widow, that lack of damage. They are kind of starting to build that up here. And then you get to his ultimate. Used to be a 2-5 energy cost, now 3-5. You're going to use it more often. This is the AoE attack that can apply blind and apply 50% chance to apply blind to all remaining targets. This attack is unavoidable. I should mention this. We'll go back to the unavoidable stuff here in a second. Now, with the increased energy that you start out with on this, it can now apply slow to all targets. I mean, yeah, all targets gate that damage and get slow. I mean, that's big. Speed down, that's a big deal. So you're getting a lot of debuffs here. You have speed up with Black Widow. You have speed down with Hawkeye. You're getting a lot of speed bar manipulation with this team. Remember, Captain America with the shield throw also gains 60% speed bar. So this team is going to go fast. It can slow down the enemy team. You can manipulate speed bar. There's another character in here who will also get speed bar. You'll see that in a second. This is big. Now, also, you're going to notice this attack is unavoidable. They have changed that. So here in the special, they've now clarified that this is unavoidable. If an attack is unavoidable, even if that character has blind, still going to hit with it. So if you put blind on Hawkeye, you can't really do anything. He's always going to hit. There's nothing you can do to prevent him from hitting with these attacks. That's a big deal as well. Now on his special, on turn, attack the most injured enemy. Oh my gosh. On turn, attack the most injured enemy with stealth for 200% damage and clear stealth. This attack is unavoidable. Yeah, it's now the most injured enemy, which is a bad thing. So as Guardians, we're fighting as Guardians, which I don't know if that team's gonna work or not. We'll try it, I guess. If someone goes into stealth, Hawkeye moves and he clears stealth and deals a ton of damage to them, and it's unavoidable. So yeah, that's a big deal. And he gains assist now on an allied Black Widow's turn. So a lot of damage going back and forth with Black Widow and Hawkeye, both of them assisting the other character. That's a big deal. So if Hawkeye assists, he does piercing damage with crit chance and crit damage, and if Black Widow assists, she's clearing buffs from that primary target. So yeah, I mean, big stuff there. Really nice boost to Hawkeye here. I'm a big fan of it. Let's get to Hulk. On his taunt, the big change here was that he now gains 3 stacks of counter, and if he's below 50% health, he now heals for 20% instead of 15% max health. Good. So a little bit more of threat now with his taunt. Those 3 counters, that's a big deal. He does have to have Wave 1 Avengers present with him, but yeah, I mean, most of this is circling around Wave 1 Avengers, though you can bring in other Avengers too. And then on his passive, this is something that said that Hulk's not really a threat. You can kind of leave him to last, and you don't have to really worry about him. They are doing something here now. Anytime that an enemy attacks a Wave 1 Avenger, fill his speed bar by 15%. He's going to move a lot if you choose to ignore him. So he's going to start filling out the damage, which is good. I mean, he does damage, but because you were leaving him for last, it never really did anything. Now you get that here. Sorry for hitting the mic a second ago. Now you get him moving more often, doing more damage. It's a big thing. And then while taunting, he gains 250% extra resistance. I mean, yeah. So now he's a much thicker tank, and if you choose to ignore him, he's gonna punish you. This is a big deal. This is what I wanted to see in Hulk. Now he's kind of a threat. This is good. This is good. I like it. I'm very excited for these Avengers reworks. I'm about to find a shtick now because I have this sign for the rework in the Avengers with streaming the Avengers game, but now what do I do? Anyways, Iron Man, his health has increased by approximately 10%. His special now deals 300% bonus damage if Captain America is present, instead of 250% damage. The attack is unavoidable. We already knew that. But now his passive, he gains 5% bonus damage per Wave 1 Avenger ally too. So instead of just power armor, now Wave 1 Avenger allies give him bonus damage. That's good. And then we get to Thor. You pretty much knew what Thor was going to get if he got a rework. His passive, so if Wave 1 Avenger allies take damage, he fills the speed bar by 5%. He gains a +1 charge. And then at 5 charged, he unleashes the hammer and does a lot of damage. So Thor's change, not really that unexpected. That's about what I was thinking he would get for that. But yeah, I mean, Iron Man got a slight little buff here. Hulk, Cap, Black Widow, and Hawkeye all got huge buffs, and I am very happy for that. Now, in terms of what this means for me, let me get my hold on one second. It doesn't want to. I'm having boomer problems. There we go. So what this means for your Avengers. Now, if you have power armor and or as Guardians, this team kind of falls apart. This is one big problem with this team, is that once you reach the end game, there is no end game for the Avengers here. So once you get as Guardians and power armor, you kind of have to split this team apart. But if you are a new player and you are working your way up, you can actually use several of these characters in this Wave 1 Avenger team to unlock Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, not Captain America, Iron Man. Use Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Cap, and you use them to unlock Iron Man. You only need 3 characters at 3 stars to get him. And if you are a newer player, you can buy that shield pack that gives you like 100 shards of like Black Widow, Hawkeye, Yo-Yo, Cap, Quake, and I think maybe someone else. It may just be those 5 characters, but you get 100 shards of each of them. That's 3 stars on all those shield characters. You pretty much got an Iron Man unlocked then. So for like 20 bucks, you can buy that pack, get Iron Man, and start building up your Wave 1 Avenger team already. And if you are a new player logging into the game, they also give you Thor right out of the gate. They give you Thor within like 2 or 3 days of logging into the game, and you'll also get like 100 shards of Captain America as well. So if you buy that pack and you log in, you'll actually get a 4-star Captain America in the process. So newer players can very, very easily access a Wave 1 Avengers team. I've got a new account that I'm playing, and I was trying to go free to play on this, but I went ahead and bought the shield pack, and I'll show this in videos as I work on the team. By dropping $20, I pretty much got this team up here on top. So just by dropping $20, I already got a Wave 1 Avenger team ready to go, and now I have a team that's gonna do well in Blitz. I have a team that I can use in Raids, a team that I can use in Alliance War. As a new player, that's a very solid team. Now, like I said, down the road, once you get your power armor and Asgardians, this team's gonna fall apart, but you can also try to bring in other characters too. Let's take a look at Avengers. This is one someone suggested to me. Ant-Man. You bring him in, he can apply speed down to the enemy team. He can apply ability block to a target. He can also steal buffs and copy them to himself, and he can assist now as well. So you have 2 assists possibly, with Black Widow and Ant-Man both assisting, both stealing and copying buffs. Ant-Man may possibly be useful now. We don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try this out on my account. But Avengers now possibly looks like a super strong starting team and possibly have some power down the road. We'll have to do testing on this, but I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know what you guys think about this Avengers rework. Do you guys think this is a good starting team? Do you guys think this has power towards the end game? Let me know down below. But as always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content in the future. And as always, I will see you guys next time.